Each year we have some other awards we're going to be presenting through the course of the conference, but this is, I think, one of our most, prestigious and important awards. And let me just find my notes, because I did prepare, so I'm not just off the cuff. We call it our Norm Taylor Award. Norm was my predecessor by like 50 years. He was known for his professionalism and treating people with kindness. He was served as the president of IDEA back in the day, some iterations prior. So it's our Person of the Year award. This is the single most distinguished award that we present to an individual. It's IDEA's norm. Should not be lost on you. We recently lost Nam. I'm from Boston. I've been to Cheers. So not to be confused with this other norm, but this year's Norm Taylor Award has been a vital member of IDEA for really decades. He's served in so many capacities: a presenter, panelist, workshop leader, both here in the U.S. and in Dubai. He's now serving on your board and was a founding member of the Microgrid Resources Coalition. For years, I've called him IDEA's secret weapon. In fact, if we had an event where we needed for someone to testify in front of Congress or the Senate, or a public service commission, or student sustainability, we called on Norm, and he always answered the call. He's really, I think, embodies the essence of IDEA, so willing to share his experience, whether it's with members of Congress or the New York Times, whether it's with a student sustainability group or professors. And at his institutions, man, the professors ask tough questions. But for a person, I think, who's so accomplished and admired and appreciated by his peers and students, you probably wouldn't be surprised that his path started, like so many of you, as a child, putting together Legos and blocks and erector sets and Tinker Toys and tree houses. And he'll self-admit he's not a naturally gifted math student, but I think it's safe to say that he learned a lot of what he's shared through his work at a utility, at Philadelphia Electric Company, and then in the nuclear industry. And that served him well, seeing how so much energy is wasted in these processes. When he arrived as a newly minted engineer at Princeton University, he was the original project manager for their cogeneration plant. And over time, Princeton University has evolved. And for those of you with any background, you know that Princeton stood up to Superstorm Sandy. And that was not a mistake. That was not a default. That was the result of the hard work of our Norm, building and creating and optimizing a district energy CHP microgrid. Sandy was a pivotal moment in our industry. Resilience came into story when we survived, or when they survived, Sandy. And he'll be the first to admit he worked alongside a very talented team at Princeton, including last year's Norm Taylor Award winner, Tom Nyquist. And now he has helped Princeton make the transition from steam to hot water distribution and integrating geo-exchange. And now he is essentially a lifelong learner. Has his bachelor's and master's degree in mechanical engineering, has all the designations one would want in a colleague: CEM, CEP, and LEAD AP. And outside all of this work at both IDEA and at his institution, he has again provided briefings to members of the U.S. Senate. Last year, I asked him, because I had a conflict, to present on your behalf at the United Nations Sustainability Group, and he did. He has presented to all 5 FERC commissioners at one time, or over a period of time, I should say. And he has held leadership roles in the New Jersey Higher Education Partnership, the Engineers Club of Philadelphia, and the American Society of Mechanical Engineers. So fast forward, here we are in 2025. He's undergoing a transition himself. In fact, our Norm is standing up his own consulting firm, taking the show on the road. In his new capacity, will be available and of counsel to those of you who are navigating the challenges of standing up innovative, sustainable, resilient, and cost-effective district energy systems. 40 years of experience. And here's a liner note. This is interesting. In his free time, which I'm not sure how he has any, he raises chickens. He and his wife, Nancy, and he's an avid gardener and cyclist. And it's known to me that he, in fact, rode to work most days during his 30-plus years at Princeton University. And he's also, I think, intending to help his church on his next adventure to build water purification systems in impoverished areas of Mexico, giving back in so many ways. It's my pleasure to congratulate our next Norm Taylor, our own Norm, Ted Borer from Borer Energy Engineering. Let's give Ted a nice round of applause.
To say the least, I'm deeply honored. I can't see you guys. It's all, you know. But really to the young engineers, the young professionals, you're doing exactly what I did a couple years ago. You're getting involved. And the IDEA has been the greatest source of knowledge, inspiration, sharing, and professional opportunities. Really, you know, Rob and the rest of the IDEA has given me all the opportunities that he listed. It's because I just hung out here and talked with people in the hallways and came to the conferences, and then he'd say, hey, would you do this? It's like, yeah, sure. That would be fun. And, you know, it's funny, Joan and I started at the Philadelphia Electric Company, 83, 84. It's been a little, maybe, we won't say the exact year, but it was back then. Anyway, and what's funny is the paths keep crossing and intertwining. So yeah, don't be stepping on toes in the hallway either. But you guys are doing exactly the right thing. You're just getting involved and being a part of it. So mostly deep thanks to Rob really for giving me all these opportunities that he listed. That's it. Thank you very much.
So did I mention there's beer in the back? So we're going to finish this up so we can toast our good friend, our new Norm. Cheers, Ted. And I would be remiss if I didn't recognize Ted's lovely wife, Nancy, who's here, and his sister, Elizabeth. Please rise, because we all know where the inspiration comes from. It's love. So glad you could join us. So glad you could join us. Congratulations, Norm. Yeah. You're part of the... Yeah, it's a thing now. There we are.